Hi, and welcome to the microbiology program at Iowa State University. I'm Crystal Brilhart. I am a teaching professor here at ISU. And what is microbiology? Microbiology is the study of these living organisms that are all around us, but that are so tiny that we can't see them. And we call those microbes.
Hi, my name's Hannah. I'm an undergraduate student here at ISU in microbiology, and I really like microbiology because there's lots of fun, interesting classes you can take.
I'm Claudia Lemper-Manal, and I'm another teaching professor here at Iowa State in the microbiology program. And we're excited for you to watch along as we're going to do 2 experiments today. You're going to learn how to grow some microbes on a potato, as well as look at yeast fermentation and how you can blow up a balloon.
So we're going to show you an experiment that you can do to grow microbes at home. The supplies that you'll need are 5 jars, a potato, a knife, some tongs, a cutting board, and a pot of boiling water. What you're going to do is cut your potato into 5 different sections and set that aside for now. You're going to want to boil the water and sterilize all of your supplies for 10 minutes. Make sure that you're careful while doing this. After your supplies have been sterilized, you're going to boil the potato for 10 minutes. So after your potato has been boiling for 10 minutes, you can remove the potato from the water, and we're going to incubate them in different places to see what grows. In one jar, you're going to want to incubate it with the lid off. Place another potato in vinegar and close the lid. In another jar, you'll want to touch your potato to your fingers or another object to see what's growing on that object and close the lid. For another one, just close the lid, not touching it to anything. And for the final jar, you'll be able to do another object, for an example like your cell phone. And make sure to leave the lids on or off and let them incubate for 5 days.
After you have been watching your potatoes for a week or more, you can continue to watch them every day. I encourage you to get a notebook out and see what you're seeing, because microbes can include bacteria, mold, yeast, things that we can't see with our naked eye, maybe from our fingers, or if you chose a cell phone, or maybe your pet. And so as you watch them grow throughout the week, start to take some notes of what you see. So here's some examples from the experiment that we did. So we started with one that Hannah showed you that we just left open to the air. Are there bacteria or microbes in the air? You can see that there are, because they're everywhere in our world. So that one, and it will dry up a little bit, because what happens when it's open to the air, we're gonna have some dehydration, but we still have some growth, possibly some spore-forming bacteria that we see from the soil, because that's where the potatoes came from and gave the bacteria, the microbes, some food. Our next sample that you may have tried was the closed. So you may think, well, there wasn't anything getting into that jar. Well, there was. Did we completely sterilize the potato by 10 minutes? We thought maybe we did, but could there be organisms that can withstand heat? And that might be, some of you may have family members that do canning. That's something to think about. And we still see bacteria growing, and mold, yeast, some things in there. We also touched our fingers, and lots of hand washing. When we touch them, you could have some, and if you can see on the jar, there's actually some liquid here. Sometimes our microbes can become liquefying. They can grow just from what's on our hands, and they are gonna look ooey and gooey and slimy. But that's what happens when they grow in lots of numbers, and we can see them with our naked eye. The same thing with our cell phone. That's why it's important to clean the things that we touch, and our cell phone has those same bacteria that might be on our face, but all the places that we put that. Now, last but not least, our control. So when we do experiments, we always have to have a control. Well, we added it to vinegar, and what do you see? That it looks almost exactly the same as when we started. Now, vinegar is a low pH. That means that it has a lot of acid in it, and it's actually preserving and reducing the growth of some of the microbes that might spoil our food. And we do that in fermentation, things that you might see, pickles or sauerkraut. Sometimes that low pH, even things like ketchup, will preserve your food. So we see almost no microbe growth in our vinegar. So hopefully that gave you some great ideas of how you can look at microbes in the world around you and enjoy, have fun, be sure to be careful and dispose of these properly when you're finished.